Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Batman Arkham City New Game Plus walkthrough. And let's see, where did we leave off? So we just took down Ra's al Ghul. We got the chemical that was in his blood, and we are not yet cured. So what we did was we drank from that chalice, and that momentarily healed us, but we're not fully healed yet. So now what we have to do is we have to return to GCPD where Mr. Freeze is working on the cure. We're going to give him the compound, and hopefully Mr. Freeze can save us from this. Anyway, just to give you guys a heads up of what's to come for those of you following this series is going to end up being 10 videos long. Now the weird thing is, if you've been following the other Arkham games on my channel, you'll notice that this is actually the shortest one. Arkham Origins I think is 15 videos or 16. Arkham Asylum I think turned out to be like 11 or 12. So why is Arkham City only 10 videos long? Especially if you compare it to Arkham Asylum. Like, it shouldn't be that way. The thing about Arkham City is, you know, Arkham City, it expanded the game way more than what we saw in Arkham Asylum. You know, this is essentially an open world game. Now obviously the boundaries are limited to something, you know, compared to like Skyrim or something, but you know, it's an open world game, and they introduced all these side quests, which again, I'm not doing the side quests in this walkthrough, but the point is, they really expanded upon this game. So why is it, you know, only 10 videos long? And keep in mind, most of the videos are like 20 minutes, so it's really not that long of a game. You have to keep in mind, one, what lacks, you know, the shorter story, they made up for that with all of the side quests and everything like that. But you also have to keep in mind that I've played these Arkham games. I've played these Arkham games more time than I like to admit. So I know these games like the back of my hand. So when I was recording this gameplay, I knew exactly where to go. I never got stuck. I never, I never got puzzled or stuck for any long amounts of time. And so that's kind of why I get through this so quickly. Now, after we leave Wonder City, you're going to emerge back in the subway area here, and pretty standard stealth area. There's a couple guys you got to worry about. You see right here, there's no jammer, there's no signal jammer, so you can use your detective vision here right off the bat. There are going to be a couple thermal guys, and so you'll notice I pretty much take them out right away with some good old-fashioned stealth takedowns. If you move quickly enough, you can take both of them out, and then just go ahead and rappel up to the gargoyles. Now, there are two of the heavily armored guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disrupt their weapons if I can. Now, right there, I tried to disrupt the mine, because remember, if an enemy is walking near a mine, and you can see the mines placed throughout the map, if an enemy is walking near a mine, you can actually use the disruptor on the mine, and it will explode, and if the enemy is close enough, it will catch the enemy in the explosion. Sonic batterings are incredibly useful, so you'll notice I just threw one, and what those do is they will automatically distract one guy and lure him over, and so that's your way to kind of get a free takedown or anything like that. But anyway, you see this guy here. I'm just not gonna be. I'm kind of losing my patience right now. So the reason I'm doing this, I'm just gonna go ahead and triple stun him. Then you can take him down with a takedown. The other enemies are gonna come my way now, and so I'm just gonna kind of flee so that I can draw them out. And from here, it's just a matter of taking out these two guys. Another reason I decided to use the triple stun on that big guy is because it's a noisy move, and when you attack an enemy with a noisy move, that will lure the other guys out. So you'll notice that these two guys with their guns, at first they weren't even in the area. They were kind of off doing their own thing, and it's always harder to take down enemies when they're not in the central map. So that's a pretty useful strategy, is don't be afraid to make noises. Now you see right here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to be patient here. I'm going to throw a smoke bomb. Boom, one takedown. Boom, two takedowns. Now remember, this last guy, I disarmed his weapon, so he's going to run at me, and he's going to try to shoot me, and he's going to be sorely disappointed. So watch this. He's actually going to turn around and get frightened right here, and then he can't shoot me because his weapon doesn't work anymore. So I don't know, I specifically wanted to keep that footage in there because I thought it was funny to watch him like back up into me. But anyway, so let's see what else is new in the life of Nick. I had 2 exams last week. I feel like I did really well on both of them. I feel like I got near 100% actually on both of them, which would be very helpful because it's really odd. My physics classes have been incredibly difficult up until senior year, and now that I'm in senior year, you would think, oh, it's going to be even more difficult. But the professors are kind of at the point where they're like, listen, if you've made it this far in the program, you know what's going on. So they're a lot more lenient. So like in a lot of my classes, my professors drop the lowest exam, and that's not something that I've ever had. Like not even my freshman physics professors did that. So to have my senior professors do that, it's kind of odd, but the benefit here is that so I took an exam on Friday, and I feel like I got close to 100%, so that means that when the second test comes around, I don't even really have to try because, you know, I mean, obviously I'm still going to try because I'd rather get 100% than like a 98%. Yes, I am that annoying guy. But it takes the pressure off. That's the main thing. Now, anyway, you're gonna erupt from the vents here, and you're gonna have quite the combat takedown. What I'm losing track of my words. It's late. It's late here. You're gonna have quite a few guys to fight. So as always, the best thing is the batarang takedown move. By now, you definitely should have that upgraded. One good strategy is just try to spread the fight out because that will allow Batman to just like jump around like crazy. So you'll notice how I hit these enemies in a circle. So I go in like a nice routine. It's a nice circular pattern when I can help it. And what that does is it kind of spreads out the guys that you're fighting so that it's a lot harder for you to get surrounded. Because if you can spread out the fight, then you don't have to worry about focusing on as many enemies. And again, remember on New Game Plus mode, when you can't see the counter indicators, that becomes a very useful technique. So anyway, very quickly, we've already trimmed down the guys to 3. I don't know what just happened there. I backclawed that guy and he like flew into the generator and just went 6 feet in the air. Anyway, so go ahead and finish off these guys. Another thing is, I said this at the beginning of the walkthrough, it's a little hard to make walkthroughs for this game because if you're playing this mode, that means you've already beaten the game. And so you kind of know your way around the mechanics. So in a lot of ways, it's more of a playthrough than a walkthrough because there's not a whole lot I can actually tell you that you don't already know if you've played these games. And so one thing that people have been really digging with this walkthrough is how I've been sharing knowledge about the Batman franchise and trivia and things like that, because I don't have to worry so much about spending my commentary doing like helpful stuff, because it's just like I said, it's more of a leisurely commentary, and it's been a lot of fun. I actually didn't think I'd have fun making this walkthrough because I recorded the gameplay so long ago, so like it's not very fresh in my head. So I thought I wasn't going to have fun with this, but I actually am having a lot of fun with it. And that kind of leads me into my next point. So I'm going to probably make a separate video about this, but I'm looking for ideas. So The Evil Within 2 comes out on October 13th, and once that comes out, that's going to be my channel's main priority. But until then, you know, this walkthrough is going to end on I think, September 28th. So I'm going to have like 2 weeks until Evil Within 2 comes out. So I have a couple options of the commentary that I can bring you guys. Now, I'm going to go into that in a second. But before I do, go ahead and take these guys out. And then there's going to be a short cutscene with our good old friend, Quincy Sharp.
None of this would have happened if it wasn't. No! Please, no!
I want to know all about Strange, and how you're tied into all this.
I'll tell you everything! Strange came to me back at the asylum. He told me he had friends. Powerful friends. The sort of people who could make things happen. All I had to do was turn a blind eye to his experiments and work on my campaign. He said his friends would ensure that I won.
Who are they?
I have no idea. I never met them. They funded everything. Money was no problem. All I had to do was set up Arkham City and put Strange in charge. It made perfect sense. The scum of Gotham needed to be punished. It would be my legacy.
Strange has been removing anyone with evidence against him and sending them into Arkham City. Enjoy your legacy.
Alright, so after you interrogate Sharp, we're going... Oh, so right there, real quick, I wanted to point out, that's Azrael. And I'm not going to go a whole lot into who Azrael is, but he's a really cool character. It's my favorite side quest in the game. He's someone that comes up in the Batman comics. So, perhaps... actually, the first time I ever saw Azrael... So actually, let me give you a brief bit of backstory on him. I'll be honest, I actually don't know a lot about him, but I'll share with you what I know. He used to be a cop, and then... through some fact or other, he got drawn into this kind of secret society, this conspiracy theorist secret society thing that has like a very ancient religious order, and he ended up becoming the kind of the warrior of the order named, I think the order is called Saint Dumas. Yeah, it's called Saint Dumas, and he's kind of like their front runner warrior, and his name is now Azrael. But so he's really cool, and the first time I ever saw him was in the very, very famous Batman comic book story arc, Nightfall. So if you didn't know, Nightfall is actually a really long story arc in the old, like, 80s Batman comics that the Dark Knight Rises movie was based off of, because it deals with Bane and kind of his takeover of Gotham City. So anyway, what ends up happening is... Bane, he breaks Batman's back, and so Batman is kind of out of the fight for a while, and he decides to have Azrael fill in for him. So Azrael actually puts on the cowl and takes up Batman, and he fights alongside Nightwing, I believe. And the problem is they have very different philosophies when it comes to the way they fight. So Azrael, he all of a sudden, people start thinking like Batman got way more violent, because Azrael, he just goes on a spree. Like, he's insanely violent when he's fighting, and Batman kind of has a problem with this. So it was a really interesting dynamic, but he's a really cool character. And like I said, unfortunately, I'm not going to be covering the side quests in this walkthrough, but if you are playing the game for yourself, I highly recommend doing the Azrael side quest, or just looking him up online, because he is really cool. Plus, he just looks really cool. He's a really well-designed character. Anyway, you should notice where we are. We're back at the GCPD, and we're going to have to go inside, where, like I said, Mr. Freeze is working on the cure. So we're going to talk to him, and then I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, we are going to have to face off against him in a boss fight. And in my opinion, it's actually the toughest boss fight of the game. So go ahead and go in here, talk to him, and then we'll get to fighting him.
It's futile.
Impressive, Batman. I doubted you would actually return.
I'm a man of my word, Victor. You should know that by now.
The formula is complete. Bonding process appears to have been successful. How are you feeling? You look unwell.
Give it to me.
I'm afraid I cannot do that, Batman. You have given me your last order.
This is not a time for negotiation.
I think it is. The clown has my wife. Bring her back to me.
You don't want to do this, Freeze.
Oh, I believe I do. You will bring me Nora, or you will die.
Alright, so the Mr. Freeze boss fight is really unique in the sense that, first off, it takes a lot of hits to actually take him down for good. The problem is, every time you use a move on him, he learns and he adapts, and you can't use that move again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a simple silent takedown. So sneak up behind him, nothing challenging here. But the thing is, now he's going to adapt, and anytime you try to sneak up behind him for a silent takedown, he's going to notice, he's going to turn around, and he's going to attack you. So you really only have one chance to do each of your moves. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang from this ledge. He's going to get close, and then I don't know why that didn't work. I was supposed to do a ledge takedown, but for some reason it didn't work. So instead I'm going to prep my electrical charge gun, shoot it right when he steps in front of it, and that will knock him down once again. So every time you successfully use a move on him, he'll get knocked down. You can run up to him, punch him, and then after you do this move here, you're going to want to run away and plan for your next move. Now, you are really, I'm not exaggerating here, you're really going to have to use everything at Batman's disposal. This is a really tough fight. And a lot of it is very finicky because he has to be in just the right spot for you to successfully do your attack. So you'll see here I prepped my explosive gel. Right when he was standing behind the wall, I exploded it, and that will allow me to cause damage number 3. Now I'm going to run away. Perhaps one of the hardest ones to do is the above takedown. So you'll see I'm kind of standing up here. I'm trying to stand above him, and I'm trying to attack him from above. But this is one of those things where I was talking about. It's just very finicky. So instead I'm going to pull out my disruptor. It's all about adapting. If you try one move, I don't know what happened there. If you try one move and it just doesn't work out, you have to have a contingency plan. So right there, I was trying to do the above move, but it didn't work out, so I just quickly prepped my disruptor and went with that. So it's all about adapting on the fly.
I see you are attempting to use my weapons against me.
Alright, so now I'm going to run under here, and I'm going to try to pull him over the ledge, but I'm an idiot and I forgot that there's a glass ceiling above me. So that is not going to work out. So now I'm going to go for the ledge takedown again. This time it ended up working. So far we've done silent takedown, ledge takedown, disruptor, electrical charge, explosive gel, and I think that's it. And you'll notice he still has like half of his health left. And we've already used like the common moves, all the moves that you would originally think of. So look what he just did. He just froze the ledge so that you actually cannot grapple onto it now. So that's what I'm talking about. He adapts. You'll notice earlier I used the electrical charge on the generator. So now anytime he walks near a generator, he's going to freeze it so that I can't use it anymore. It's a really interesting boss fight, and it's a really good boss fight. It's tough, but you know, bosses are supposed to be tough. But I think I've never seen anything like this, where the enemy actually adapts every time you use a move on him. I just thought it was brilliant the first time I did it. And the problem is on New Game Plus mode, you really do have to use every move at Batman's disposal. So right now I just used the vent takedown. That's an easy one. And that's what you're going to kind of notice when you're doing this. Some of the moves are very easy, so like the silent takedown, the disruptor, the vents, those are all easy moves. The harder moves are like this one right here where I tried to attack him from above, so I did a glide kick. So that is a move you can do, the glide kick. You can only do it once though, because if you try to do it again, he's going to stop you. All right, so he's getting lower, but he's not there yet. We still gotta bring him down. Now you'll notice earlier I mentioned the glass ceiling thing. Another thing is, so right there I tried to hit him from above again, and you'll see that it didn't work. I like how Batman's cape got frozen right there. It looks really cool. So another move is you'll notice how I mentioned there was a glass ceiling earlier. If you can get him to stand, so right now I'm trying to do another from above takedown because I'm pretty sure there's 2 you can do, but it's just not working for me. So learn from my mistakes and maybe don't try that. Or if you do try it, be more careful than I was, because clearly that was not doing the job. But yeah, you really start to get kind of desperate. Like, you really start to wonder, what else can I do to this guy? I feel like I've used every move, and yet he still has health. So anyway, right here, I'm trying to use my line launcher to rope into him, and I did it successfully, but you see that he still was able to hurt me. So if you do use the line launcher, try to wait until he's not looking at you. So that's a move you can do. It's a very effective move. The only reason it didn't work well for me was because he was looking right at me when I did it, so he was able to hit me quite a bit. So you'll notice we're both pretty low in health right now. So my main goal for this is to show you all the different ways that you can hurt him. I'll leave it up to you to do it more efficiently. Alright, so here once again is that glass ceiling I was talking about. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him to see me, because I want him to come under the glass roof so that I can hit him from above. So you'll see I'm going to spray some explosive gel on the floor right here, and I'm trying to get him to stand where I'm standing now. And this is what I was talking about. Sometimes it's just, it's kind of finicky. Now, once in a while, he'll shoot out these motion trackers. You can sometimes use those to your advantage. So you see that they're crashing right here. So now he's actually going to come to where I want him to come to. But this is what I was talking about. So you just got to kind of be patient, and sometimes you got to just get him in the right spot. Sometimes the cards just have to play out perfectly. But so now, there you go. I got him below the glass ceiling, so I was able to jump down on him, deal another piece of damage, and he should be at only one more. And you'll notice there's still another glass ceiling on the other side of the room. However, you know, like I said, he adapts to everything, so he'll probably shoot out the glass ceiling before I can actually use it. Right there, I tried to use my explosive gel, but it didn't work enough to stun him. All right, so you can see him on the right side right there. He's coming towards me now. And it's only going to take one more hit. That's all we need. And you'll notice, too, how I'm not using detective vision. That's because after a while, he disables your detective vision anyway. So it's good to get in the habit of not using it. Alright, now finally, you'll see that these electrical cords are actually sitting in puddles of water. So this is a really hard one to spot. You want to get him to stand in the water. So I'm going to try to distract him, and then you can see that there's this button right here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him to stand in the water. As soon as he is, I'm going to press the button, and that will electrify him, or electrocute him, and that will trigger the end. So right there, that was bullcrap. I don't know how that thing hit me. I was very lucky not to die. But anyway, he's getting closer. So now I'm going to run up, press the button, and there you go. That's a really easy one to miss. But we'll deliver the final takedown, and then there's going to be a cutscene.
Please, find Nora. She's all I have left. It's over. That was all I could manufacture.
Harley Quinn took it.
What are you waiting for? Go and get it back. The clown must pay for what he has done to us.
It's not that simple. Joker's got the steel mill locked down. Getting in will not be easy.
Perhaps I can help. I've been working on a new projectile system. Maybe these will provide the edge you need.
I promise you, Victor, I will find Nora.
Alright, after that fight, we're good to move on. There's kind of a lot going on in this video. So we've interrogated Sharp, we did the Mr. Freeze boss fight, and now, believe it or not, there is still one more thing to do. This is kind of just a filler objective. This is something that they probably said, hey, the game's too short, we need to throw something else in there. Why not include Vicki Vale? So, Vicki Vale, I think she was at the beginning of this video, or I might be mixing it up with Arkham Origins, but Vicki Vale is a famous Gotham reporter. So, she's essentially the Lois Lane of Gotham. I'm trying to think of some times where you guys might have seen her without realizing it. So, she's in the comic books occasionally, but she doesn't play a huge role in the comic books. Obviously, she's in this video game. Probably the biggest moment for Vicki Vale is in the original Batman film. So the first Batman film with Michael Keaton in it, with Jack Nicholson's Joker. Vicki Vale is in that movie. She is the reporter that has the love interest with Batman, with Bruce Wayne, I should say. And yeah, so Vicki Vale is in that film, and that's probably what most of you have seen. So there you go. You might have already seen Vicki Vale and not even knew it. But anyway, Vicki Vale, she's in charge of the Gotham Gazette. That's the Gotham newspaper, the most famous one. And you'll see right there that her helicopter just got shot down. Like I said, this mission here, it really does not serve any purpose to the main story. It's just kind of a filler thing for them to, add more content and make it longer. But anyway, her helicopter got shot down in Arkham City, and so we have to go rescue her. However, the area is going to be surrounded by snipers, so you can see these red sights piercing the area. So obviously you're not going to want to jump down there just yet, because those snipers will tear you to shreds. So instead, you're just going to want to plan out your approach here. I'm going to fly over to this water tower, and I'm going to do a nice little double stealth takedown. And again, remember, use your detective vision, because that's a really easy way to spot the snipers. If the snipers do happen to see you, it's not the end of the world. Just zip line away really quickly, get out of sight, wait a couple seconds, and then you're good to go. So you see that I think one of the red sights actually did see me, and so I just zipped away real quick. No harm, no foul. There we go. Now this guy, I don't know how he saw me. I'm going to take a shot. Not the end of the world. It's okay. So take him out. Drop down to the helicopter and rescue Vicki Vale. You'll witness a short little dialogue with her, and then we'll be able to wrap up the rest of the video.
Or someone has taken them out.
You should be safe here for now. Stay here and keep out of sight.
Any chance I could get an exclusive? Care to tell Gotham what's going on with your face?
No. Stay there and be quiet.
Now, that's no way to talk to the nice reporter, Lady Bats.
What do you want?
Who are you talking to?
Now, see what you've done. The poor woman's all confused. Hardly surprising, I suppose. I mean, she's just been in a terrible accident.
That you caused.
How dare you? I've never been so... Oh, what the hell? Yes, okay, it was me. I just needed a little time to guarantee that Harley got back to me with my delicious cure. And if you're a good boy, I may even save a little for you. It's unlikely, I know, but I'm really your last hope now, aren't I?
Alright guys, and that will be the end of the video. I will see you in the next part. I hope you're enjoying this walkthrough as much as I am making it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. And yeah, like I said, I'll see you in the next level.